All right, guys, welcome back to the SU Gang podcast. This is episode 17. This is the almost a week after the Super Bowl, and unfortunately, we couldn't get this out earlier. We all just were really busy. It's like ski week. Bobby's actually in Colorado, about to
Yeah,
ski, funny enough.
Colorado is awesome.
Yeah, so we couldn't get Super Bowl 58 reactions out, so we'll just make it quick. But there's been some other news going around, and we'll soon have free agent content and draft content. But yeah, there's just been a lot of other football news, and we'll talk about like the NBA and MLB too. So this is kind of just a jumbo episode of like everything sports related. So um, first, I want to just address there was a KC shooting, unfortunately, during the Chiefs Super Bowl parade. From what at least I've seen, and you guys can add on, it started with two juveniles who like had
They
apparently
were
it was
like,
a dispute in the crowd,
yeah,
and nine people were injured, one was killed, but I think the kids are expected to make a full recovery. Tom Grossi and actually his fans, boy, had COVID, started a big charity thing to the hospital the children were being treated at. So that's good news. And the suspects got charged. So
you know,
again, all good news there. But it
so
is just tragic that this shit happens like every week in America.
yeah, I don't like
Yes.
Taylor Swift, but she donated $100,000 to the family of the person who died. So rare Taylor
I thought it
Swift
was just to
W,
the charity. I thought it was just to the hospital, but
but whatever
regardless,
it
good
is
news.
Taylor Swift did, that was a W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And like people are gonna complain, be like, oh, that's just pocket change for her, blah blah blah. But like
in a way,
it's the
yeah, it
act
is.
that still mattered. Like in a way it is, but the fact that she brought awareness and even donated is good, and because she's so influential, it's gonna move more people to donate. So I don't think people should cherry pick the negatives here.
No, I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
Some
no, but
people
dude,
can't
that's
do it.
like I hate the Chiefs just as much as I, hate that team from Wisconsin, but that's taking it way too far, dude. Like, when you do that, you're the real coward. Like, you think that you're tough by getting a whole parade of people scared for their lives because there's a whole mass shooting happening. You're the real coward when you look at it. That those suspects, um, you know, it sucks. Why does this happen every year? There's always some stupid thing happening, either mass shooting or just something stupid, something brutal. I feel like it all started in 2020 when that George Floyd thing happened. That really sucked. But I don't want to get political right now, so it
It's
just sucks.
definitely expedited, but this stuff happens on a week to week basis. It's just a matter of what gets covered.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, very tragic. Also, I want to shout out Andy Reid, and I don't know if it was Chris Jones, but someone
It
on the
was Chris Jones
defense.
and I think Trey Smith too.
Yeah. They and Andy Reid both at times hid with civilians, Chiefs fans at the party, and they did a very professional job of not only pulling other random people in to hide with them, but also comforting them. Like that's just a huge I don't want to be cringe here, but that was a very huge W. That a great moment by them. The Chiefs handled this the best they could too. Like the people and coaches, they handled it with class. So all respect to the
100%.
Chiefs. And congrats
Yeah.
on your back-to-back Super Bowl, even if a decent amount of America didn't want it. It just really shows when you're great, people are gonna hate you. Like I'm remembering the Batman, not the Batman, the fucking Spider-Man quote from Green Goblin. Like they viewed him as a hero in 2019, but when he beats the Niners again and gets two back-to-back rings, they start to hate you
Eventually they'll
now.
hate you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just how it is. And I was a Warriors fan. I remember when people hated us, and it all makes sense. When you are a dynasty, people are they always love change.
I wouldn't I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mahomes is so good. I don't want to be like
Yeah.
Tony
It's not crazy.
Romo or Chris Collinsworth.
It's just facts. It's not even glazing.
If you compare him to like every major Hall of Fame quarterback right
He's had the
now,
best start to his career.
the only guy he's definitively over him right now is Tom Brady. Now, you could argue some guys like Peyton Manning if we're talking regular season stats, and also Joe Montana is very close, but again, just a playoff record and everything right now. I mean, again, Mahomes does have that 7th seed benefiting him after 2020, which is Super Bowl 55. So that will help him get more playoff wins and future quarterbacks. But he's just on the best track we've seen. So, like, if we hate him or not, we're going to be talking about this guy when we're adults, bro. Like,
The next 15 years.
yeah, exactly. So we are witnessing greatness. I mean, it came so soon after Brady and the Pats were done, but yeah.
Yeah, but I still think that Brady will still. I still, will always believe that Brady's better and Gronk is better than Kelsey. I don't care what the receiving stats say. I mean, yeah, the receiving yards are good for Kelsey, by the way, but when you're a tight end, it's not all about receiving yards. It's
We'll
not
see. It's just, again, let's not do a whole debate about Mahomes, but like one I think interesting thing to look at is how fast it will be till Mahomes wins his 4th ring, and the gap Brady went through was 10 years. So, if honestly, I could see Mahomes, sorry, getting it faster than Brady did, assuming there's not a major injury circumstance, etc. Because like their main competition is the Bengals, and Joe Burrow's like the Eli Manning right now to Mahomes. But like, and then you have the Bills and then the Ravens. Like, I feel like just the way the AFC and NFL is, and this is without a premium #1 wide receiver outside Kelsey. Like, they're still, I think he's going to get a 4th ring faster than Brady will. And I think even with like 5 rings, if he keeps up his stats right now, I think he will potentially get more MVPs as well than Brady. And I think even with 5 rings, you could make a very close comparison.
Yep.
Yeah, the only way people would say that Brady's better is because
The
he beat
rings.
him in the
Like,
Super
listen,
Bowl.
if you want to be consensusly universally better, he'll have to win 8 rings. But I think that's a little bit bullshit. And I think if you look at the pure stats, I think if Mahomes continues what he's doing now, even 5 or 6 will be plenty, and more MVPs. So again, we'll just see.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like Jordan LeBron shit right now. I'm kind of getting. It's not like.
Bro's playing the show. He's playing MLB the Show right now on the show. Wow. Okay. Anyway, the Niners fired Steve Wilks. Thoughts?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before that, I still wanted to talk about Travis Kelsey yelling at Andy Reid. I know it's kind of like shrugged off now that they won, but you don't yell at your coach. He's the guy that took a chance on your weed smoking self, bro. I would have said another word, but I feel like I just shouldn't be swearing right now. Like, dude, you don't yell at your coach. He's the reason you had. Okay, well, no, Travis Kelsey, he did work his butt off, but like, he took a chance on you, right? Just like he took a chance on your brother when he was in Philly. You don't yell at your coach like that. You don't do that. You don't do that. I don't
forgot
care.
He was playing Kyle Shanahan in the Super Bowl. He forgot to realize, oh wait, they're gonna choke eventually.
I don't care how good you are, Kelsey. You don't do that, dude. I don't care if Taylor Swift's your girlfriend. I don't care if you're one of the greatest signings of all time, dude. You don't do that, dude. I don't care. He was doing the same thing in a Ravens game, but of course, nothing happens to him. But when Zay Flowers gets a catch, he gets penalized, right? I mean, the you see like the glaze bias is just it's unreal. It's unreal.
I mean, Zay kind of sold there, unfortunately.
He did sell, but
yeah,
but you got to keep consistency though.
But I did give him, hey, he's a rookie trying to make a play. Like, he's gonna learn from this mistake.
He's a rookie while Kelsey is like in his 10th year, and Kelsey's acting way more.
No, it's got to be like his 13.
Childish.
Remember when they just threw Justin Tucker's shit aside?
Yeah, man.
I mean, like, listen,
hate
there's definitely a thing there with kickers allowing to be on the opponent's side of the field in warmups, but kickers usually do it more. So, at least from what I've seen, Mahomes and Kelsey went out there before technically most of the team did. So, like, if that's the case, I'm like, bro, just respect Justin Tucker. He's a Hall of Fame kicker, man. At least I think so. I'm not sure, but he's one
he
of the
is
best.
100%.
He's one of the best. He's allowed to be there. You arrived early, good for you, but at least respect his rules, bro. I mean, Tucker at least was a
Guys,
class act. He thought it was a joke at first. He was like, all right, they're just playing around.
did you guys see that allegedly some people some people in league circles think that the 49ers will hire Brandon Staley as defensive coordinator? That would be the
They do that.
Oh,
That would be the
Can we talk
worst
about
thing.
can we talk about Steve Wilks first of all? Like in addition to
Okay,
this,
okay, yeah,
That's
but about Brandon Staley, he was actually a good defensive coordinator on the Rams. Maybe he's just meant to be a coordinator and not a
No, yeah,
coach.
they
just like
completely
I'm not gonna
scapegoated
say the Matt
Steve.
Nagy shit.
No, Matt Nagy's ass. Okay, I don't want to ever hear shit about that guy.
Hey, I mean, they won a Super Bowl with him as OC. Okay, I'm just saying.
He didn't call any plays. He doesn't call the plays. There's a reason Andy Reid calls plays over him because Andy Reid doesn't trust his stupid self.
He
That guy,
works with
that guy,
Mahomes though. He
dude,
works with Mahomes though.
if I worked with Mahomes, I would probably. I
Okay. Listen,
you can work with.
I'm going
Your
off
dad
of.
can work. My dad can work.
I'm going off of just like I'm going off of watching the quarterback show. Like I was actually surprised how much they interacted and like drip QB plays. So,
He sucks.
I don't
He
know,
sucks.
man. I don't know, man. I know you're gonna have a bias because listen, he was a very bad head coach. So I don't blame you.
Very
for
bad
hating
is an
him.
understatement. Very, very bad. He screwed me over.
I take him
he
over
literally-
Matt Patricia though as like
He-
a
he's-
coach.
He still ruined. I mean, yeah, as like a guy, yeah, but like, dude, his play calling actually, like, it takes actual like suckage to be almost as bad as Luke Getsy, and he was actually impressively bad. Like, dude, that guy was so garbage.
R.I.P. the Raiders.
No, I genuinely don't understand why they fired Steve Wilks.
Okay,
It's
yeah, I just want to talk about this. Wilks
Like,
is
you
one
have
of
the
the
number-
unluckiest guys to get fired.
You-
Like he had a
You have the
decent stint
number
with
3
Carolina.
total defense. You have the
Yeah,
number 3 total defense.
exactly.
You gave up what? I mean, I can't read.
And
They
like,
gave up
here's
the
the
8th
thing.
most yards.
Yeah, you actually talk. Sorry.
They gave up. God, I'm just using Pro Football Reference because I think that's a. I'm just trying to find San
That's fair.
Francisco.
They did have like a top 5 defense in the league.
No, yeah.
And they still had a great defense. I will say they did have trouble in the first half against the Packers and especially the Lions. And they did melt down in the second half. I think part of that was momentum from loss from Dre Greenlaw getting hit because he was balling out in that Super Bowl before that unfortunate injury. But I didn't think he was bad. I thought he did a solid job with Carolina as like a head coach. And his other things, like he was just unlucky. Like I was kind of surprised they fired him. And Niners fans, all of my friends who are Niners fans, they were like shitting on Steve Wilks. They're like, oh my, especially after the Lions game, they're like, oh my God, bro, Steve Wilks made me want to blow my brains out. I'm like, dude, he still gave you guys a good defense. He did almost as good as D'Amico Ryans, and yet you guys hold D'Amico to high snare. Like that's something I don't know why Niners fans were bitching about him, dude.
They gave up 4.1 yards. I don't even know on the ground.
Holy crap! Now I know how you feel when you like think Packers fans are like bitches and shit. Like, goddamn, I know how you guys feel, bro. Holy crap! This is making me mad.
No, they were like a good defense. They gave up 20 touchdowns through the air, which is not bad, but they forced 22 interceptions. So you're holding your opponent, granted, to probably like an 82-ish passer rating. And if you hold like that's not a great passer rating, you'll win your games.
Yeah,
Granted,
no,
I don't know,
it's like
yeah,
like
here's my
I mean, I guess they're trying to strive for perfection, and I think they could probably find a better guy. I mean, they're a good defense, so unless you're a horrendously bad coordinator, I don't see how you mess up with the 49ers roster. But it's just interesting. I was kind of shocked by that. I don't think he's as bad as some Niners fans said. Like again, he did have some flaws in the playoffs, but it could be worse. But anyway, Jimmy Garoppolo, he is suspended for 2 weeks
Wait, I
next
wanted to
year.
talk about one more thing. Like, speaking of coaching, like
Yeah.
my hot take about Kyle Shanahan, you could say, oh, he's a choke artist or whatever in the Super Bowl. The whole overtime shit, like, I don't. People are gonna like Shanahan for saying for trying to receive the ball when they won the coin toss. You don't want to ever play from behind as an Irish team. I know people are going to be like, oh, well, they play from behind versus the Lions, versus the Packers, who are good teams. Yeah, granted, yeah, they are good teams. They are not that Chiefs team. They are not that Chiefs team. And the Niners, all season, other than probably those 2 games, haven't played from behind and have not been a very good team at playing from behind. So why? I don't understand. Like, people are shitting on him for receiving the ball first in overtime. And anyone that says, oh, I was like, what the fuck is Shanahan doing? You're lying to yourself. And I know damn well you're lying to yourself. Like, if anyone says that in the moment they disagreed with Shanahan's choice to receive the ball in overtime, they are lying through their teeth. They are the biggest liars in the world. They just analyzed it way after the game was over and said, okay, yeah, Shanahan's an idiot. No, he's not. You don't want to play from you don't want to give Mahomes the ball in a tie game situation. You're going to be like, oh, well, if they get forced to a fourth down, they'll be forced to punt or take a field goal. You don't know if they're going to do that. You don't know if they're going to do that. And the worst thing that happened on that final drive was they got to a 4th and inches. They still probably would have went for it. You do not want to play from behind, especially now that if you're down by 7 in overtime, you have a chance, right? But, and I like Brock Purdy, but is Brock Purdy actually going to drive you down the field? Is he actually going to do that in that situation with more pressure down 7 in overtime? Instead of having the ball in a tie game, you have your game plan to take the lead. Your game plan. Because if you allow the Chiefs to score
But why will
immediately,
that matter? That doesn't fucking matter with the new rules, bro. Like
it
here's where
does.
okay, here's where I disagree with you. I initially was with you and was like it wasn't a bad call, but here's the thing. If you if the Chiefs get it first, they're going to get a touchdown. You're going to now not only have a chance to respond, but you're playing 4 downs every time. I would argue that's actually an advantage. And also, the Chiefs said that if Niners got it first and scored, they would have went for 2 if they got a touchdown. Like they would have not done the double OT shit. They would have been like, all right, we're just gonna go for 2 and try to put this game away.
I mean, yeah,
So
that's
I would
fair.
argue there's downsides to both, but like both teams get a chance to respond. So I at first was with you, but now I'm like I feel like he should have just let them have it first. And like Brock
In the
Purdy at
moment,
least
though,
done what you Brock Purdy most of the game at least got you field goals when you
yeah,
needed to.
he did. He did. Obviously D1 Yapper of all time, Shannon Sharp's going to be hating. That guy's so annoying. But no, but like, there's no way that you're a head coach and in that exact moment you're choosing to receive the ball. There is no way in hell that you are gonna say like, "Oh, I disagree with Shannon." In the moment, as they said that they want to receive the ball, if you say that, you are the biggest liar on earth, and I will never trust you for anything you say if you say that you disagreed with it in the exact moment that it happened. There's no way anyone's telling the truth when they say that. No way in hell.
I agree. I mean, they just did it. They like hindsight's always 2020. So they'll say, "Oh, they should have done this, should have done that." It's unfortunate for the
I
Niners.
mean, I just feel like if you got it first there and you're gonna probably settle for the field goal because you want points. I feel like in the situation where Mahomes is down and he can win it, like I feel like he's just gonna like get the touchdown anyway. Like after they got their field goal, I'm like the night the Chiefs are probably gonna win this. So I don't
You
know.
come
I
out of
personally I like the idea of well, there's added risk. You get another down that you're playing each time,
you
and
play according to plan though. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it though. The down is definitely a big factor, but you
that was my
can't
dad's argument when we were
you
talking about it.
you can't play according to plan if you kick the ball off and give it to Mahomes in a tie game. You just don't. You can't do that. I mean, now you're just like, okay, fuck it.
But
We
but
gotta
each
we gotta
team gets a
you,
chance
you got
though.
you get
So
the
like,
fourth down, but you don't know if you're gonna get that fourth down. And then people
again, I do agree it's a risk.
people are probably gonna be like, oh, why didn't Shanahan receive the ball? Okay, to be fair, it is Mahomes. It's not glazing. It's just facts. They would have won either way, in my opinion. Received or kicked it off. Um, if they took the lead, in my opinion, they wouldn't have gone down and scored. They would have gotten stopped or turned over. But I don't really think anyone is telling the truth when they say that they disagreed in the moment. There's just no
Oh
way.
yeah, completely calling him an idiot. Also, I would just like to remind everyone that the Seattle Seahawks and Los Angeles Rams have been better at winning Super Bowls than the San Francisco 49ers. Since the greatest show on turf, the Rams have 2 rings and we have 1. And the Niners are 0-3 in the last 11 years. So and your track record since 2011, lost an NFC championship to the Giants, lost the Super Bowl, lost the NFC championship to Seattle. 2019, you lost the Super Bowl. 2021, you lost the NFC championship with a 10-point lead to the Rams. 2022, very unfortunate, but you lost the NFC championship. And I personally believe the Eagles still would have beaten you guys.
I was so
Um,
mad.
No,
the though I
I
wish it
think the
was
Niners would
competitive,
have
but
won.
I still had the Eagles beating them regardless of if
Niners would
Purdy
have
was
won.
injured or not. And then this year, you'll lose the Super Bowl with a
Sirianni
10
is a
point
fraud.
lead.
He wouldn't have done nothing. Sirianni is a fraud. He wouldn't have won. But dude.
Point
Also,
is,
I've been kind of
you
hating
guys
Eagles
are
lately.
point is you guys are choke artists. Yikes.
I low key have been hating Eagles fans lately, and not even
Please
like I'm not
keep
even a
hating
Niners
on
fan.
them.
Like I've been defending Niners fans with like my life depended on it because like
You
okay, I don't know about
imagine
like my
defending
life depended
Niners
on it,
fans.
but here's the thing, they've done me like a service every year, so I kind of have to like repay them.
That's fair.
But not just that, but like I just tell Niners fans like, hey,
So now
you could
you
say that
understand why we rooted for the Packers in
no,
the
well
wild
not
card
just that. Well,
because we were rooting for them to beat Dallas and especially for them to beat a division rival for Bobby.
yeah, no, well, not just that, but like, I just say
Yes.
like Niners. You can say people can say whatever you want. The Cowboys have won a Super Bowl more recently than you, all that bullshit. But like, at the end of the day, you've gone to a Super Bowl more recently than we've gone to an NFC Championship game. Your first Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick
3.
was way more recent. Yeah, I'm saying your first Super Bowl with Jim Harbaugh was way more recent than us going to a chip game. You've won a playoff game more recently, obviously,
By the way, we
and
know they won 5 rings. We're not
we
completely
haven't
stupid.
won. We
Don't
haven't
take the
won.
first ring thing you just said out of context.
We haven't won one since '85. Fluke year.
That's
Fluke year.
fair. And they're always going to be contenders. Like, I will say that about the San Francisco 49ers. It's just unfortunate they have had so many opportunities recently to get it done, and they haven't. I don't think Shanahan's on the hot seat, but obviously, like, he's having a bit of a problem choking, whether in the playoffs. So it's just unfortunate.
Bro,
It's just unfortunate for that. But listen, Dallas let them have their moment. The fact that they won a Super Bowl more recently than the Niners, when literally the Packers and the Niners own them now, is like, just let them have their moment. This is the one thing they have over them.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. And any fan of that's gone through pain recently, just know that you're better than the Bears. That you will always be better than the Bears. Just know that.
Giants have the worst
Yeah.
record in the NFC over the last 10 years. So
Yeah.
But hey,
the pain and misery.
keep your head up, guys. Just know that you'll always be better than Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah. All right. Let us know what you guys think about our takes regarding Shanahan and stuff. But yeah, we'll see you guys with more content in the future.